ChatGPT. You might have heard of it, you might have tried using it, and everyone's been raving about it being the best thing since sliced bread. I decided to put that to the test. For the last 2 months, I have been using ChatGPT for everything related to my university. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So ChatGPT is a very advanced AI model made by OpenAI. It can create human-like text outputs based on the input you give it, which is pretty insane. It's trained with a massive amount of diverse text data from the internet, allowing it to respond to a wide range of questions with high accuracy. A lot of you might know this, but I'm currently studying in a university, and as that's the case, I get a ton of assignments every single week. It's a painstaking job for me. I have to sit and research the given question, come up with the answers, or if it's a programming question, I have to write a ton of code without using a specific library from a programming language. In some cases, I won't even find answers to my questions because the question was way too old and there's an efficient way to solve it, or it's behind a stupid paywall like Chegg. This whole process of researching and coming up with the right answers for these assignments takes 3 to 4 hours of my time, unless I resort to copying. But it's a huge waste of time for me. 99% of these assignments I've done as a computer science major have been pretty much useless. Trust me, universities are a scam. Quick update, as I was editing this video, OpenAI just dropped ChatGPT Plus, which is a paid version of ChatGPT. It costs $20 per month, and its only benefits over the regular one are that you get faster responses, access to ChatGPT during peak times, and priority access to new features and changes. In my opinion, I would still stick with the free version as the benefits don't really make sense for $20 unless you rely so much on ChatGPT. So our goal for this video is to reduce the amount of time it takes to finish these assignments and tasks, and for that I'm going to be using ChatGPT from top to bottom. I have a couple of deadlines that are right around the end of January. I have completely forgotten about them. Typical uni things. I'm going to be starting with this assignment here where they ask me to design an internet security policy, antivirus security policy, network and data policy for some organization. The deadline for this is literally tonight. I know I'm going to be wasting a lot of time trying to search for the answers for these questions. So let's ask ChatGPT to write all of this right now. So let's give ChatGPT all the info it needs and let's go. It's taking its time to process it all out. And wow, that's a lot of info. Trust me, my professor did not suspect a thing. Next, I had an assignment on French where I had to write an essay about my hometown. I don't really know how to read or write French properly, let alone write an essay. So I asked ChatGPT to make an essay about my hometown, and it made up some random information about some random hometown, which is nice. And then I asked it to rewrite the same thing in French. And to my surprise, it actually did give me an output on French. Damn, ChatGPT is multilingual. Okay, so this next assignment has to do with programming. So I have to interchange elements in an array, substitute the second and third occurrence of a number in an array with zeros and ones. I can do these questions on my own, but I will waste my time making mistakes. Remember, our goal is to minimize the amount of time I take to do an assignment. So I gave the questions to it, and to our first program, I had an issue. It expected the user to input the number they want to change to zeros and ones. So I specified what it had to correct, and sure enough, it generated a program that did what I needed to do. It did the other question correctly, and one thing I did notice is that it writes all of these codes from scratch. So I gave it a problem where it had to write the code to find LU decomposition without NumPy. When I googled this problem, I could not find anything that did not use the NumPy function. But ChatGPT wrote a fresh code that could find the LU decomposition without using any functions. Pretty amazing. For the next one, I had to find topic ideas for a project. So I described all the requirements that my professor stated for this project, and it gave me a topic which I really could not imagine building as someone who knows nothing. So I asked it to give me some easier ideas, and sure enough, it gave me an easier idea which I could use ChatGPT later on to do with. Now for this next assignment, I have to manually write down the answer on a piece of paper. Man, these assignments are a pain in the ass. Anyways, I had to perform linear regression on a given set of values and plot a graph for it. Now I doubt if ChatGPT can really help me in this, but we'll see. Let's test it out. Okay, I'm gonna just copy paste the question over here and whoa! So it gave me a step-by-step working for the things I needed to do. While I can't exactly copy down this is still close enough to the right answer. As for the plot, it gave me instructions on where I could plot my points and how I could do it. As of shooting this video, ChatGPT can't really give us a graphical output. So if it does that in the future, let me know in the comments down below. Next, I attended a quiz and I was sure I wouldn't have enough time to Google the answers since the quiz was for 10 minutes. So I copy-pasted each question into ChatGPT and I was able to come up with answers that I felt confident about. And I finished it in about 3 minutes. All I could do now is to wait for the results, and I got a 9 out of 10, which is pretty impressive. I almost felt like I was giving the quiz blindly. What I've noticed from all of this is that ChatGPT assisted me really well here. On average, I've been spending less than 10 minutes for each assignment, which is a huge improvement from the 4 hours I used to spend. I got the answers for what I needed like this, and that's pretty amazing. But you know what would be amazing? A sub to this channel. ChatGPT suggested that. But not everything is sunshine and roses with ChatGPT, and this is where we get to the bad. You see, ChatGPT's database relies on information that's from 2021, and it has no access to the internet. So naturally, it does not have up-to-date information on recent events like the passing of Queen Elizabeth or Elon Musk being the CEO of Twitter. The dataset ChatGPT relies on is called the Common Crawl, where a lot of web crawlers scrape through the internet and collect a lot of data. The downside is, because of this, ChatGPT makes up whatever it feels is correct based on statistical info, and it's not that smart by any means. It fails at simple logical reasoning, math, common knowledge, and it has its own bias towards race and gender. And we know this information beforehand. You can see this right before you start a conversation with ChatGPT. The point is, tread with caution if you're dealing with things that need up-to-date information and correctness. But these are not really deal breakers. The bigger problem with ChatGPT is plagiarism. Now, the reason why ChatGPT is considered better than other AI platforms is how it gives a human-like text output. So normally when you do put its output on a plagiarism checker, it returns with it having zero plagiarism. But that's a lie. If you put any of the text you have gotten till now into an AI-based content detector like GPT-2 output detector, it will return that our text is completely made by AI. The reason why these detectors could tell us that this was AI made is because of how there are patterns within AI created text. Now, there are even ways to combat this. You can give ChatGPT a sample text that you write as the basis for its style and tone. For now, this is not really an issue as ChatGPT is relatively new. But as time goes on, more and more people are going to know about it, and eventually all these schools and universities are going to catch on to it and start using AI content detectors. What you need to keep in mind is that even though ChatGPT is really good at what it does, you should always use it as a starting point for whatever you're going to do with it. Always verify its output with legit sources. Now, these issues can be ignored. What's really scary is its potential, and this is where it gets ugly. I'm really worried about how ChatGPT is going to change things around a lot. It can write paragraphs in seconds, it can write code in any language you want in an instant. The list goes on, and this is just the start of it. As time goes on, ChatGPT would have the ability to do even more. And soon enough, AI like ChatGPT would also catch on to our jobs. Low-level jobs can be easily replaced with AI, and we as humans need to have a high enough skill set to even get a job. I can also see ChatGPT go in the way of calculators. Now, we use calculators because it allows us to perform math quickly, and our reliance on calculators has made us lazy with math. The same could be said about ChatGPT. We are now going to be using ChatGPT for our mundane work, and this will not just make us lazy but also start affecting our thinking and creative process. I noticed this within myself. If I had spent time doing those assignments, I would have tried new ways to deal with it and implement those ways somewhere else, like making these videos. What ChatGPT essentially did was speed up my work and forget about it. I don't want this to be the end though. I don't want to make a dark prediction and dip. For what it's worth, the abilities of ChatGPT are insane to see as a tech person. We knew this was coming. Tech has been progressing really fast in the last 10 to 15 years. I just want you to know that if we smartly use our creativity with ChatGPT, we can do wonders. Start using ChatGPT into what you do. Learn new things, learn new skills, make something truly extraordinary with it. The sky's the limit, but don't rely on it completely or ignore it. It's gonna stay here for the foreseeable future. It all really matters on how you use it smartly to go ahead in life. As for things outside of university, I have been trying to use ChatGPT into making these videos. For now, it helps me create an overview of what all I could include in my video, or help me come up with a title and a description. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video took a lot of time and effort to make, so drop a like if you really enjoyed it. This is Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.